What's going on, my gamers? Welcome back to Goshen's Games, and the CDPR, CD Projekt Red, situation just continues to get worse. I have Cyberpunk 2077. I've been playing it on PS5. I enjoy the game, but it has problems. I've made this very abundantly clear before, but it gets worse for the company, and they're just lying to everybody. They're making excuses, and we're going to talk about this. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you guys are new. Here we go, CD Projekt Red. So our first article, we underestimated the scale and complexity of old-gen Cyberpunk 2077 issues. It was the wrong approach. All right, let's just address this from the statement first. You designed this game to run, or we thought you designed this game to run on old gen hardware on PS4 and Xbox One. That was the idea. The game was announced 8 years ago, before the PS4 and Xbox One were even released. You guys announced this during PS3 and Xbox 360 era. If you guys are announcing this game back then and you can't even develop it for the next gen hardware that was next gen at the time, you're lying. You are lying. Hands down. This is ridiculous, and it's getting worse. Following yesterday's public apology letter posted by CD Projekt Red for the old gen console Cyberpunk 2077 issues, key members of the Polish company management board participated in a conference call with investors. The call, which anyone can listen to by going to this URL. We're not going to listen to it. Although maybe I should. Not on this video. Opened with President and Joint CEO Adam, I'm not going to pronounce that, explaining why the highly anticipated game released in that state for PS4 and Xbox One. After 3 delays, as management board were too focused on releasing the game. We underestimated the scale and complexity of the issues. We ignored the signals about the need for additional time to refine the game on base last-gen consoles. Bullshit. That is so much bull. Look, you designed the game for PC. Just be honest. Be honest. You designed the game for PC, and everything that you showed clearly was on PC. You refused to let anybody show any footage of PS4 and Xbox. You didn't give out any copies for review copies of Xbox and PS4s. No. This is honestly the first time that personally I've been denied a game for a review copy. Like, freaking Gearbox sent me Borderlands 3. Gearbox sent me Anthem. Not Anthem. I don't know why I said Anthem. Wow. You know what? Because this is reminding me of Anthem. No. Gearbox sent me Godfall. I don't know why I said Anthem. That was weird. 2K Games sent me Mafia Trilogy Remastered Definitive Edition. This is the first time that they were so quiet. And I'm kind of going on a little bit of rant, but to tell my personal experience with this situation, they were so quiet in regards to the PS4 and Xbox review copies, that they were like, we don't know when we're gonna be able to give review copies for the PS4 and Xbox. We will let you know when the review copy keys are available. And all the way up until the day of launch, hours before launch. Okay? Because now, I'm talking, launch happened December 10th, but I got an email from them at 3 a.m. on December 10th saying, oh, we're sorry, we can't give you a review copy for Cyberpunk 2077 on PS4. If you'd like to resubmit for a review copy, you can do so, and we will send you a review copy when the review copies are available. They didn't give any. They're like, oh, we ran out. You didn't give any. So many lies are being told here. This is, oh my God, it makes Pinocchio look like a saint. I swear. Sorry. It was the wrong approach and against our business philosophy. On top of that, during the campaign, we showed the game on PC, which caused loss of gamers' trust. Oh God, yes, and the reputation that we have been building to a big part of our lives. Oh no, I'm sorry. Been building to a big, yeah, and that's why our first steps are solely focused on regaining those two things. We're concentrated on fixing Cyberpunk 2077 on last-gen consoles. The first substantial set of fixes were released over the weekend. You know, at this point, I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, release the PS5 and Xbox Series X versions, please. Just release the new-gen versions of these games because clearly that runs fine. Because the new-gen versions would be the same as the PC version, and the PC version runs fine with a couple bugs here and there. But if that's the case, just release the freaking PS5 and the Series X versions. Do that and then work on the PS4 and Xbox One versions. Don't try to because here's the thing. They are trying to optimize this game for the PS4 and for the Series X. And you're doing that, but then it's still bricking on the PS5. Like, it's constantly crashing. Yesterday on my live stream, it crashed within the first 40 minutes. And luckily, we didn't have another crash after that. But still, the fact of the matter is it crashed after 40 minutes. And it for no reason. No reason. I went into my car, crash. Actually, it crashed twice. No, it did crash twice. The second crash was 2 hours later after that. But still, it crashed twice. And I went in my car and crashed. I didn't crash the car. The game crashed. It's like, oh, you're going to get into the car? Crash. Big updates are planned for January and February together with smaller fixes. Of course, PC gamers will also be getting regular updates and fixes to improve the game. We'll do everything possible to prove that we stick to our values. We hope that our efforts will let us rebuild the trust we have lost. It's going to take a lot, man. It's going to take a lot. Oh, this is a game. Look, I'm so tired of games releasing broken. I remember a time, back in my day, I remember a time when games would release and they weren't broken. I remember back in N64 days, and yes, I'm not saying every game was perfect, but I remember back in N64 days playing Mario 64, not having really problems. Like, the game ran, it worked. The game worked. Right? It wasn't a perfect game, but it worked. And it was a launch title on a new system that was pushing the boundaries of anything that any system had done before. Ocarina of Time, back then, the game was beautiful. It was near perfect because it didn't really have any game-breaking flaws. There were no game-breaking flaws in that game. Going on the PlayStation, Final Fantasy VII, Resident Evil, Parasite Eve, all these big games. Why do we have to release games broken these days? I don't understand this. Yes, the hardware has changed. Yes, it takes more effort to develop the games. I understand that. But why do they release them broken? Following the opening statements, investors were able to present their questions to CDPR executives. This allowed us to glean even more tidbits on the situation. For example, they stated that COVID-related issues meant there was a decrease in number of Cyberpunk testers from outside CDPR. That's bullshit. You can send out beta codes and stuff like that. It's bullshit. Other noteworthy statements include the executives' hope that console gamers will wait until the game is fixed before refunding. No. They should be allowed to we're going to get to that in a different video because this is like a 2-parter, maybe 3-parter video. They also hope free upgrades to next-gen versions will prove to be a deterrent to refunds. Then maybe you should do it now. You should release the next-gen versions. I mean, it's current-gen. You should release the new-gen versions now before everybody goes and refunds. Oh, too late. Too late. All right, let's go to the next article. CD Projekt Red addresses why it didn't delay Cyberpunk 2077 again. Oh boy. Go ahead and decrease this a little bit. CD Projekt said that it didn't feel any unusual external or internal pressure to launch Cyberpunk on December 10th and explained the decision to not delay the game was, at least in part, because it definitely did not spend enough time looking at compromised last-gen versions. That is such a poor excuse. That's like saying, yeah, I didn't do my homework because I wasn't using the right pencil. You think that excuse is gonna fly? Or yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't finish my my task at work. I was using the wrong register. You think that's gonna work? No. And if it does, your boss is an idiot. Don't try to use the excuses like that. By the way, it's not gonna work. Be like, yeah, I use a number 3 pencil to write to bubble it in. It's not gonna work. Oh, I wouldn't say that we felt any external or internal pressure to launch on the date other than normal pressure, which is typical for any release. With major issues present on the base PS4 and Xbox One version of the game, not to mention persistent bugs in upgraded last-gen, next-gen, and PC versions, many have questioned why CD Projekt Red didn't delay the game further after 3 previous delays. Look, I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to continue to say it. They should have fixed the game, or not fixed the game. You should have released the game on PC because clearly that version worked. Should have released it on current gen or new gen, so PS5 and Series X, because clearly those would have worked if the PC version works. So they should have released it there as well. And then they should have said, okay, the PS4 and Xbox One versions of the game are going to be delayed, and we're going to let you know when those versions are going to be released. That way you have time to fix the problems on the old version if there were problems on the old versions, which clearly there were. And like I just don't understand this. As part of the same line of questioning, the board was asked how the game passed certification on Xbox and PlayStation, which appears to come down to trust from the console companies. In terms of the certification process and the third parties, they explained, this is definitely on our side. I can only assume that they trusted that we're going to fix things upon release. And that obviously did not come together exactly as we had planned. That to me just sounds like they're shifting blame now. It sounds like they're shifting blame over the Sony and to Microsoft, saying that, oh yeah, but they approved it. You know, it's like, we did this mess, but they approved it. Right? Blame them. They're the ones that said, oh, this is fine. This is fine. Yeah, you go ahead and release it. It's not Sony's job to make this thing right. They're not the developers. They just say, oh, you want to release the game on our system? Okay, that's cool. We'll go ahead and it's not a console exclusive. You're gonna release it everywhere. Okay, that's fine. You know, we'll go ahead and we'll put it on the PlayStation Store when it's ready, and you tell us when it, you know, what the release date is, and we'll put it up. You know, like that's so dumb. In a separate question, the board was asked if the company could have simply released PC version of the game on December 10th and delayed the console release. In pure theory, okay, hold on, I gotta set the tone here. In pure theory, if we had decided that one day before the launch, then yes, we might have released just the PC version. He went into no further detail about whether those decisions took place or discussions took place. However, he went on to make it clear that it would have been impossible to release a next-gen only version alongside PC. That is bullshit. Bullshit. The next-gen consoles get a completely different version of the game, so it's not like we could have decided at any point recently to flip the switch, so to say, and change the old-gen version to the next-gen version and release only the next-gens. If you have noticed, there is no native next-gen release. The game runs on next-gen and takes advantage of how next-gens are performing, but it's not like we had a next-gen version in our hands and decided to keep it on the shelf. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you know why? Again, because it's the same as the PC version. You know how I know? Because these new consoles are PCs. They're PCs. They're using Zen 2 architecture on their CPUs. Like, they're PCs, man. We're not that dumb. At least I would hope that we as consumers are not that dumb. If you keep track of any video game news or how the PS5s and the Xbox work, you're not that dumb. And you understand that these are just PCs with dedicated operating systems in them. Like, it's honestly, man. All right, that's my rant on this. This is a mess. This is a mess. It's a mess, and there's more coming. Make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you guys are new. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. It's bad. It's bad, and it's getting worse. Peace out for now, guys.